Hello everybody! Now we have August. For most summer residents, this is the time for collecting and harvesting green crops and herbs for conservation. Dill, parsley, you know what I mean. In the taiga, there is also a green crop, greens. There are burdock roots, woodlice. In principle, these types of green vegetation can also be harvested and preserved. But the process of conservation is well known to everyone. Glass jar, salt, lid, seaming, refrigerator. In this case, greens are stored for a very long time, even for a year it can be stored without problems. In the north, there is an ancient method of preserving meat. For example, in the form of jerky sausage, making the essence of jerky sausage, or preserving it in such birch bark containers made of birch bark. Everything is perfectly stored, everything is done perfectly, everything is perfectly preserved. So I thought, what if we try to preserve until the cold weather, before the frost? Then greens are not in glass jars, which we don't have, right? We are in the taiga. And store in a birch bark container. What happens? I will do it now, I will preserve it in it. In a month I will open the container. If in a month the greens turn out to be absolutely fresh, green, not extinct, nothing happens to it, then it will last until November and hold out in frosts, freeze. As a result, we will have all year round until everything thaws, in fact until the end of April, raw, fresh vegetation that can be eaten. These are vitamins added to soup, some dishes. We will really preserve the green stuff. In this case, the problem with conservation and lack of glass, lids, refrigerator will be solved. We need to overexpose fresh green grass for a maximum of 3 months, until the cold sets in. For this method of conservation, we take a 2-layer birch bark container. It's not glued, it doesn't connect anywhere, it just holds 2 layers. Tube in tube. Here is the joint, holds very precisely. One is inserted into the other. Seams opposite each other, 180 degrees, after which he straightens so that the internal cuts meet, and is fixed on the outside by anything. It can be an elastic band, birch bark tape, rope, leather lace, whatever. It should be held tight. You need to tie it right away, because it will be more difficult to disassemble. Inside, the joints are connected. And put the second crimp on the container. The container is actually ready. Expanding it from the inside, the outer layer will not allow the inner shell to disperse, because the birch bark inside shrinks and glides very badly. Now we need 2 such aspen pancakes. One of us is the bottom, the second is the lid. We insert one of them on the bottom. It should fit snugly. As it gets wet, it will expand slightly and completely cover the space. We're done with the bottom. This is our lid. It should hold more smoothly. The container is ready. We need a saucepan where we will need the grass, salt, knife, stick for compaction, and the grass itself. We begin to cut finely, cut the grass. We do it as little as possible. Don't make porridge, of course, but still shallow. So that the juice goes. The grass is juicy now, and we need to prepare vitamins, greens for 6 months or even until next summer, so that we have green food. So completely finely chop our grass. I specially do everything in the wild, natural conditions. Most interesting to know if it will work out. The grass is not washed as it was collected the way it is. Only you need to carefully remove them so that they don't get dirty in the sand. Woodlice usually grow on sandy soils, on slopes where there is a lot of sand. There are no woodlice inside the forest. You can take more herbs. Woodlice can be prepared decently. Squeezed out the juice a little. The grass became wet. And now add salt. Mix very well. So the juice went, the salt began to draw out moisture from the inside. It turns out this is such a thing. Let's try now. Yes, there is enough salt. Now we take our container, bottom down of course, and we begin to make the usual preparation with green porridge inside. Containers can be made of different sizes. This one is made for sausage under the jerky sausage. So I didn't make another separate container of a different size. I'm just curious to try if it works or not. If possible, the containers can be made larger, the size of a jar. Nothing will change from this. There will be no difference. Now, they have tamped it down. You can even knock it down a little from above with a stick. See how the juice drops? And now we just cover the container with a lid. The lid should fit much more freely than the bottom. And just tighten the lid to the preservative level. Done. In this position you can start storing. We will try to preserve greens. Now, naturally, the bottom of the moisture will expand a little. Close the micro slots so that the liquid doesn't leak out. Now let him lie down for a while, and then I will put him in an upright position. It's dry here. Now look at it flowing or not. Set. Aspirin quickly feeds moisture and the bottom will expand, block little cracks, and as a result the liquid will stop flowing out, still flowing. If it stays in such a green fresh form for a month, now I will naturally put the container in the cold, it will be underground. The temperature there is not high, always 10-15 degrees, so it's not hot there. And let's see what happens to the container in a month. If the greens remain for a month, then they will last too. Then frost begins, the container freezes, and as a result, we get canned greens until the end of the frost. Roughly speaking, until the end of April, we have a green product that we can use for food and nutrition. So, a month of storage, look what happens to it. And now we are looking at what happened inside the container and what about our canned greens. So, we open the container. These containers are reusable, they will have nothing, the birch bark doesn't rot. Therefore, they can be used multiple times. Interesting, huh? Let's see. And we guys, everything worked out. Very fresh smell, absolutely. I'll get it now. Wait. Now I'll show you closer. Absolutely normal, soft, not at all faded greens. Both inside and outside. No problem. Very tasty, salty. Therefore, almost any edible herb can be preserved in this way. Woodlice, burdock, burdock root, sometimes of edible fern, horsetail, quinoa, runny. Everything that can be eaten from the greenery in the forest can be preserved in this format. Nothing will happen with this salted salad. And you will have green grass, green salad in your diet with vitamins and salt throughout this season, until summer, until the end of spring. Salt also doesn't go anywhere, waste-free production. Containers can and should be made of larger diameter, the size of a jar. This is a container for sausages. I just don't have others now. I took a sausage one. The bottom most likely needs to be made a little thicker due to the larger diameter of the container. It's necessary to tighten the bottom very well so that the liquid doesn't flow out. It's imperative that it's damp inside and, of course, dark. It should lie in the dark and at the lowest possible temperature. You can underground or whole dug in the middle of the forest, in an absolutely dark place covered with a small moss slab so that a colder temperature remains below. There will be no problems. Everything is stored, everything is perfectly preserved, and the issue is finally removed. This can be done. Good luck to everyone, good hikes, take care of yourself, think with your head. Bye.